girly friends. I wanted to pop on here and tell you guys a little story about the month that Lila was born. I was inspired to tell this story after kind of chatting with Leslie the other night and hearing a really great speaker last weekend. I went to a live Live Your Passion rally, like we did the rally for the tribe that was all on Facebook that you guys could watch. I went to one in person that had some really great speakers, people in our business group, but I haven't really told it to this group. So let me tell you about it and you will understand why it's important. So most of y'all have seen our little video in this group that Leslie and I did about kind of how we accidentally started a Young Living business. Like, I totally never intended to. Hi, Megan. I totally never intended to. It very much happened by accident. I got that same premium starter kit. Well, it was different then. It had slightly different oils, and it was not as pretty, I will say. But I got that same premium starter kit that you guys got 3.5 years ago, and it came with little business cards. I think it still does come with little business cards. And my hang up, honestly, getting the oils to begin with was just I was a little wary of the MLM thing. I was not real educated on what MLMs are, and like I totally think that it rocks now that I know more about it. But I took those business cards and I tore them up in tiny pieces and threw it in the trash because I'm not a good salesperson. So I just didn't relate to sales. That initially to do mortgage. I was a mortgage loan processor working under a mortgage loan officer because I thought that's what I wanted to do when I grew up, right? Like 22-year-old Nikki didn't really put the thought into researching and figure out what that was like. And so when I went to go start working for this mortgage officer, I realized very quickly that it was sales. Like, he was having to go to the Chamber of Commerce lunches and like schmooze the people and talk to the realtors and like try to get people to do their loans with him. And his commissions varied drastically from month to month. And I figured out pretty quick that I just wasn't a schmoozer, and I didn't do well with that, and I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want my income to be dependent on commissions like up and down every month. I thought I wanted a salary. So I went back to school to be a teacher, but okay, I won't tell you the whole story, but I just had this image in my head of sales. And my mom sold Mary Kay when I was little, and she had to store it all in her house, right? And deliver it to people, and they could buy from anyone. Like, they could buy from her one week and the other Mary Kay lady on their street the next week. And I just thought, I don't think sales is for me. And so I tore those things up and threw them in the trash. But I accidentally started sharing about the oils because like we say it all the time, I literally just couldn't keep my mouth shut about it. I was not crunchy before oils. Like, it was a whole huge life change for me to start reading and researching about toxins and medications and to get oily. And so I was blown away, was reading all this stuff, and I just couldn't stop talking about it. I talked about it on my Facebook a little, and I talked about it with my friends like it was my thing for a while, like the new thing. Like when I had seen a favorite movie or had a new restaurant, and told my friends about my new favorite book. Like, I will just admit that I'm the girl that got everybody to read Twilight back when that was a thing, and now I'm a little embarrassed of that. And I don't tell very many people that, but I was kind of sharing already the things that I was passionate about. And so I was telling people about the oils. I simply could not look at my best friend when she had a headache and not hand her the peppermint with the roller top that was in my purse. I mean, like, how do you not fix somebody's headache when they don't feel good, right? So I just kind of accidentally started sharing about the oils. And I had a friend that talked me into having a class, and I had a class, and I taught people what I had learned, and they all signed up. So I just kind of accidentally had this business, and I swear that the Lord had to drag me into it, kicking and screaming, because I just really still didn't want to do it. And I was a teacher, and I just got married, and I just didn't have time for extra stuff. Now that I'm a parent, I realized how dumb it was that I thought I didn't have time, like, right? When I was not a mother yet, I had all the time in the world. I was reading books in the bathtub. I mean, hello, who has time for that? So I just didn't want to, basically. I didn't want to work any harder, and I was praying about it, and every time I prayed about it, things happened. Like, I had a class and 5 people signed up. So I just kept getting answered over and over and over. Yes, Nikki, get it in gear, stop whining, and do this. And then like 2 years later, I got to retire from teaching and stay home with my baby, which I never thought I would be able to fulfill that dream of mine to be a stay-at-home mom. My husband just basically told me, no, girl, that is not in the cards for us. You're going to have to work. You can't stay home with our kids. So I never dreamed I could. So I told you I was going to tell you about the month Lila was born, and I'm getting to that. So I will jump into that now and skip a few of the in-between steps. But I was sharing, I was what we call a silver at this point. You guys see when we like announce like Erin Thompson made silver last month, and we're all celebrating because that is the first like life-changing rank with Young Living. That is the first paycheck that is $1,000 or more. I made anywhere between $1,000 and like $2,500 a month when I was silver before I became gold. And that is when it's life-changing. But this is the difference between Young Living and sales, residual income. So Lila came 8 weeks early. Unexplained, my water broke. You know me, I had a plan. I had planned my who was going to be my substitute teacher, and I had written the lesson plans, and I knew when she was going to come, and I was going to take the last 12 weeks or whatever it is of school off and then tell them that I was quitting and staying home for a year. Like I had this whole plan, and I woke up in the middle of the night and my water had broke just at 32 weeks. And it was scary, and I went to the hospital. My Young Living business got completely on hold. Like, I was in a group, don't message Nikki, she's not going to answer it, message me instead, and she just took over from me, and I just completely stepped away from my Young Living business. So we stayed a week in the hospital trying to keep her in. Actually, it was more like 3 or 4 days, and then she was born anyway, stubborn as she is now. She was not doing what anybody told her to do, and she was born anyway, and then she had to go to the NICU, and she was in the NICU 2 weeks and 2 days, and it was the hardest 2 weeks and 2 days of my entire life. Like, I was terrified and just afraid that this little creature that I brought into the world was not going to make it. We're not going to go down that road because I will start crying on the Facebook Live. But so that is what happened, and then we came home, and we were home for about a week, and now, you know, and mommy like overload, and it's way harder to take care of a preemie than it is a newborn because she had to eat so often. I had to set a timer. She spit up like crazy and had this acid reflux, and so she hardly slept because immediately after laying her down, she would spit up and wake up screaming. And so this was just it was hard period of time. And then we were home about a week, and she got some random fever, which I don't even know where because we didn't go anywhere. I was germaphobe mom, and had to go to Cook's Children's here in Fort Worth for another week. So I legit lived in hospitals 4 weeks. Okay, was home for a couple of weeks in the middle of all of that. But during this time period, I didn't answer a message. I didn't answer a text. I didn't have a class. I didn't come into our members group and answer people's eczema questions or whatever. I did not show up at all in my Young Living business. But the awesome thing is residual income is doing something once and getting paid on it over and over and over again. I couldn't stop the paychecks from coming now if I tried. If I literally stopped working forever, they would dwindle, maybe they would keep growing because I've got awesome people signed up under me who are out there growing their own business that are completely independent of me, like Megan Hunt and Mindy Bingham. These people are out there running their own teams and don't need me. I signed them up and taught them how to do it, and then they go do it, and they sign the next person up and teach them how to do it, and then they go do it, and like it starts this snowball effect. I probably legit could retire and continue to probably grow my salary. But I was in the hospital 4 weeks and home for some time in between there, did not even open the computer. And at that time, I got not only a paycheck, but I got the biggest paycheck I had ever gotten to date. It was February 2015. Megan Hunt hit silver. big things were going on in my organization. It was a huge month for Young Living. I think they'd had a diffuser sale and a premium starter kit sale, and I knew none of it because I completely just tuned out. And I got the biggest paycheck I had ever gotten in my Young Living business, and I worked 0 hours, y'all. So I'm not telling you this because so you will think that you can have a Young Living business and never work. I am telling you this so that you'll understand residual income. How many of you have jobs that if you did not work for 6 weeks, you would get paid? How many of you have jobs that if you didn't work for 6 weeks, you'd get the biggest paycheck you had ever gotten? No, that is not a thing. That is not a thing in the world. If you're an employee, that is not a thing. I heard this girl speak last weekend about her father passed away in November, and she literally walked away from her Young Living business for like 3 months to spend time with him, and she still got paid. Her sister, who works somewhere in an office, tried to stay home, not even as much as her, but some, to spend time with her dad who was passing away, and she got fired. So they're at the funeral and she is grieving her father and that she doesn't have a job anymore. That is freedom. The one that was with Young Living, who's the same rank as Leslie, she got paid just the same as she always would have for those 3 months. Sister got fired from her job. I spent 4 weeks living in the hospital and got the biggest paycheck I had ever gotten to that point, which I've doubled it since then, P.S. And I got paid big. That is my aha moment. That was when I was standing in the hospital and saw my paycheck come in. And then it was the biggest one I had ever seen that I had my, oh gosh, this is a thing. This is a real thing. Residual income is the bomb, y'all. Doing something once and get paid on it over and over and over. You do not, it's not like other sales jobs. If you stop working at other sales jobs, you don't get paid. Young Living is uniquely different. There may be some others that work along the same lines, but you get people signed up and they become your member, and then you educate them and you help them and you put them in this group, and then every order they make for the rest of your life, you get paid for. And if they choose to stand up and sign people up and help and do the Young Living business as well, then you're going to get paid a lot more. And it's like I signed Megan Hunt up at 1 class, but I will continue to get paid on not only her orders, but everything she does and teaches her people to do forever. Same thing with Mindy. I signed her up. I'm standing at church talking to her one day and then sent her my link and text later, and she signed up. And I helped her get started with the business, and I will get paid on that for the rest of my life, even though it's been years since she needed me to come to Lubbock to teach a class. It's been years since Megan needed me to go to Irving and teach a class, but I will get paid on it over and over and over and over. And then all of you guys that show up and sign up with them or with Lisette or with my mom or whoever in my organization, I'm going to get paid on that forever. That is residual income. That is huge. That is why Young Living is not sales. If you stop working at sales for a month, you don't get paid. If I have a catastrophe and have to spend a month in the hospital or longer, I'm still going to get paid. My mom's a realtor. If she doesn't sell houses for a month, she's not going to get paid. That is the difference. That is why this is not sales. That and because we are legit helping people. Like, I am getting messages on the daily from people who are like, thank you so much for helping me find these oils. My kid is sleeping. I have ditched anxiety meds. My sinus health is so much better. I had so many aches and pains all the time. My stomach problems are fixed. Like, it is just constant thank yous for helping people get with the oil. So I just wanted you to know the opportunity. That is optional, and not everybody with Young Living does it. I think it's 93% of Young Living members just buy oils. It's only 7% that ever pursue sharing about the oils and doing the business. And I'm going to drop the income disclosure in the comments. Not that you guys haven't seen it in several posts, but just so that you can take a look at it, because getting paid my biggest paycheck when I didn't work at all the month Lila was born, like, that is worth pursuing. That's freedom. That's financial freedom. That's freedom of schedule. Not to mention, I mean, you guys know I walked away from my teaching job, retired, age 35. 35. Yep, I was 35. Anyway, all right. Bye, oily friends. Have a good day.